So, in Bali, you're going to be surrounded by the most incredible entrepreneurs, spiritual seekers, and even world travelers. But one thing I've learned the hard way is that you can be surrounded by incredible people and still feel lonely. So, in this video, I'm going to be talking about that and why Bali can sometimes be a lonely place, but also what to do about it. And so, this is going to be a little bit of my journey with a few tips of things that I've learned over the last 3.5 years since moving and relocating with my family to Bali, Indonesia. And so, if you don't know me, I'm Nadia, and I'm originally from a small island called Bermuda. And in Bermuda, you just know the same people, right? My childhood best friend is still my best friend. And that's not the case for everyone, but for sure, you know people from primary school or high school or even work, and you most likely still have those people in your life for many years. But here, when we relocated, it was a completely different thing. We didn't know anyone, we had to make friends like everyone else. And there are so many amazing opportunities to make friends here in Bali. There's so many different communities that you can weave into, depending on if you're a parent or if you are someone that's interested in yoga or someone that's interested in church. There's so many different communities, whether it's fitness or paddle. There's so many different things to do and so many different ways that you can align yourself with different people. But I'm going to be sharing with you my journey because it is definitely harder to make friends here in the sense that it's quite a transient community. And so some people are here for 6 months or 3 months or a year. And I've also heard that it can actually be really hard to date here. I'm married, I've been married for 11 years, so thankfully that's not something that I have to consider. But if you're someone that's single and you're a single parent that's relocating, it can be sometimes challenging, I've heard, to date in a place like Bali because people are in and out, and maybe it's easy to find love or fling, but it might be harder to build like a long-term relationship because people are here and there and everywhere, right? And so that's definitely what we found with friendships. We found that in our first year, we made some really incredible friends, and then they left and they moved overseas or they moved back home. And so that was hard, but we've had to navigate all of those different things over the last few years. And so thankfully, most of our friends now, we pick and we decide on friends that are going to be here a little bit longer term. Obviously, things can change at any moment when you're here, but for the most part, most of our friends here are here for the long run. They're not here for a few weeks or a few months, they're here for a couple of years or more. And so I know we've all heard this phrase, your vibe attracts your tribe, but I want to introduce you to something else. Your values attract your village. And so the values that we have, more so than our vibe or anything like that's cool and trendy, our values, the things that actually define who we are, the things that we stand for, the things that we believe in, they can help us to build a community, a village that goes beyond just the superficial things. I think it's so easy here if you're meeting friends, like maybe on the party scene, or you're meeting friends and you just go out and you have fun all the time and you don't have those meaningful deep interactions or bond over something that's a little deeper and more aligned to who you are and what you stand for. I think it's easy to look around you and realize you have all these people there, but they're not actually friends that are going to stand the test of time. They're not friends that are going to be able to hold you up when things are going wrong in your life. They're not friends that are always going to clear their schedule and make you a priority and make room for you no matter what else is going on in their life. They're like fair weather friends, right? They're there for the good time and not a long time. And so that's definitely something that I've learned since being here and something I've realized. And it really does matter to me that I have people in my life who are there for the good times, for the bad times. And thankfully, one of my closest friends that I made here, a girl named Christina, who's since relocated to Vietnam, but while she was here for my first 3 years of being in Bali. And one of the reasons why we had such a good bond is because we bonded over entrepreneurship and our shared dreams for financial prosperity, financial freedom, just bigger things that we wanted to create in our lives, in our marriages, in our families. And so that was such a special bond. And even closer to the end of her trip, we used to do so many different activities together, and I'll get to that in a different point. But it was just so beautiful to have that shared values with someone that just is fun to be around, yes, but also that you can have deep and meaningful conversations. After we had our baby, she was definitely someone who would check in with me regularly, whereas some people, they got busy with their own lives and didn't really check in to see how I was or if I needed anything. She was someone that still checked in, still made time to come over to our house, even if it was messy. She didn't care, and that made such a difference. I feel like having those friends around you, no matter what you're going through, who are just going to stand by you in the good and the bad, is so important and helps so that you don't feel lonely in your new surroundings. You need friends that go beyond the superficial level. You need friends that are going to be able to have deep conversations about life, about the meaning of life, about just what you stand for, what you believe in, and all of those things are so important. So I'm going to share a couple of things that have worked for me and for us and the more long-term friendships I've had. Like I said, I do have a lot of people that I know, and maybe they might message me from time to time, but I also know that they're not really gonna be there for me in the darker seasons of life. I don't really confide in them in that way. And so there's different friends for different reasons at different seasons. But for the ones that you're actually trying to build like long-term, deep relationships with, one thing that I'm starting to realize is that relationships are all the same. Obviously, there's different types of relationships and love. There's platonic love, there's romantic love. But what I'm realizing is that the same work that you put into a marriage relationship or romantic relationship is also the same work that if you want to have deep, meaningful, honest friendships that can weather different storms of life, then you need people who are also going to be intentional. And so one thing that I found is that it's so important to actually plan the date and not just say, let's meet in the future. Stick to it, plan it, both put it in your calendar, stick to that time that you have together as friends. And even when life gets busy, even when you have work or other things that are going on, making sure that you still know that this person's important to you and you're going to meet up with them every week, every month, whatever the case may be. And so prioritizing that relationship or relationships, I think, is so important. And I have for sure a few mom friends at my son's school, and they're lovely, and we chat here and there, and they're really nice. But why I think the relationships don't really go very deep is because we will make plans and then cancel. There's no like commitment and follow through. Whereas with my closest friends, we just never stand each other up. We make sure that we're there, rain or shine. And I think that is something that's important, not only with weather, but in life, right? You want people that you're going to be able to talk to when things are not going right, rather than just having this facade that life is perfect and life is great all the time. Even if you're in Bali, like life continues to life, right? Life continues to go on. You still have challenges. You still have things that you're gonna have to navigate as a person, as a mom, as a wife. And because of that, it's so important to have friendships that you can talk to, friends that you can have meaningful discussions with and actually share what's going on in your heart, not when things are always good and great and rosy, but when things are hard and difficult and you have challenges and you're trying to get a different perspective on how to navigate them. And so one of the things that has been really important to me since I moved here, but just in general, I've never been really a gossiper. I've never been someone who people told gossip to for some reason, but I've also never been someone who wanted to spread that gossip. And maybe that's why people don't tell me anything, is because they know I don't really want to engage in that kind of activity. I don't want to spread rumors about people. I don't want to talk about people. I'd rather talk about business ideas. I'd rather talk about dreams and goals and faith and what our stories are and how we're healing and growing. And I've never really been interested in getting caught up in people's affairs or people's dirty laundry. We all have it. We all have things in our lives, and myself included, that isn't perfect, that we would regret or maybe feel ashamed of or feel embarrassed by. And instead of passing on that information to other moms at the school or other people in our community, I'm not interested in that at all. And actually, I usually stay away from people that I know are talking a lot about other people, because that just means that they're probably going to one day talk about you if you ever go through something hard or difficult. I'm just very selective with who I trust and who I let into my kind of deeper life. but usually it's because there's already a layer of trust. I just feel like there is a safe place that you can share and confide in, be honest with who you are and what you're about and where you are now and where you're trying to go. And so that's definitely been one of the primary ways and reasons why I think the relationships I do have are more meaningful, especially now. I feel like I'm definitely meeting people who are aligned, and yes, they have beautiful energy and beautiful things that they stand for, but it's just a deeper level of awareness of who they are. And I love that and I value that. In addition to making sure that you plan the date, my other tip and suggestion, if you're moving and relocating to a place like Bali or a new place, maybe it has a transient community, is to make sure that you do different things together, just like you would in a romantic relationship, rather than just doing the same humdrum, boring things. Try to do things that challenge both of you. Try to do new things together, because what it does is it actually helps to create like a core memory. And I think that those are just so brilliant, because you'll always remember that, right? And then you look forward to the next day that you have together. You have more to talk about. You have this bonding experience. And so me and one of my closest friends, we have gone to pottery classes together. We have done dance classes together. We've gone to new places together. And even a new friend that I've built over the last few months, like she always makes an effort to reach out to me, but we go to new places. We go to places I've never tried before. We go to new like coffee shops or breakfast places. We've gone to tea houses, and we both like matcha. So we've gone to this little authentic Japanese matcha place. And I think it's just really cool to have friends that you can do new things with. And it definitely helps to create a beautiful relationship, that you have something, a foundation that you can grow and build on. And so, yeah, this friend of mine, we've gone to new restaurants. One was really tasty. We have gone to spas together, different spas that I haven't been to. She's tried them before. And yeah, it's just really cool and really special to have some of these relationships and to see them building. Because I think it's hard as adults to make friends and to maybe let our guards down. When you're younger and you're a kid and you're playing, it's so much easier. Like I said, I grew up in a place where I at least had the same friends that I've always had. I maybe met some of them in different seasons. So I have my friends from childhood, then I would have like my university friends that I met during college days, and then I would have some workplace friends. But you tend to have longer lasting relationships, at least that was my experience back home. Whereas in Bali, it's a transient community. And so if you're moving here and you do not want to be lonely, make sure that you're trying to align with people on your values so that you can build a village that's not just there for the fun times and the party, but there for you in all different seasons. If you are growing your family, if you are stressed out about your family, if you are having a hard season in your marriage, whatever you're weathering, that you have people that you can confide in and trust, that your information is going to stay safe with them, but then also that you just have other perspectives to help you navigate emotionally. I feel like friends are like free therapists in a way. Obviously, we don't want to dump on our friends ever, but I feel like if you have those safe relationships where you can share what you've been going through and confide in them, they give you different perspective and they give you different things to think about, to ponder on. And so it's really a release for us, especially as women, right? To have friends that you can trust and feel safe with and journey through life with. It's so important. And then, like I said, if you are struggling to find those friends, plan the dates. If it is someone that you definitely want to grow a relationship with, be intentional, schedule the date, keep to it, don't keep changing it. Make the time and prioritize that relationship and that friendship. And number two, try new things together, just like you would in any other relationship. Make sure that you are trying to do new things together, because it challenges the both of you and also forms those core memories, that bond, that attachment. It strengthens it because you're learning, you're challenging yourself in new ways, you're trying new things, and it's something that you'll remember forever. I think as you reflect back on your season in a new country or your whole big chapter in a new country, however long you're planning on staying. So those are my tips and my suggestions, and I've definitely weathered through lonely periods here as well. And I'm grateful because since my best friend had relocated or moved to Vietnam, I started to make a few other friends. And so that's been healing for my soul, because I think for me, I'm an introvert and I need at least one friend, one good friend to feel that attachment with and to support and cheer on and just navigate life with. So I hope this video was helpful, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions about life and relocating with a family, with a partner to a place like Bali or anywhere else in the world. I'd be happy to answer and share more of my journey, the highs, the lows, in betweens with you. And so if you haven't already, also don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm trying to grow this page. I'm trying to find and build community because I feel like this life is just so much better when we do it together versus alone on our own. So thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you in another episode.